Hello, YouTube. I'm with my boy Alex right here. Introduce yourself.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Alex, credit expert. Follow me.
All right, so we're in the 458 right now with the McLaren 765 LT Spider, Huracan Z06, and a C7 Grand Sport. Right now we're in the car. We're just going to talk some game about credit, information about business and everything like that, so that way you guys can learn as much information as possible and get to the level that this guy's at and scale your business. So what is the number one piece of advice that you would give, let's say, a 21-year-old guy still living with his parents that's trying to, change his situation, maybe get his first supercar, start living a life that he enjoys, and how can he go about that by using credit and what you teach?
Yeah, definitely. So first off, what I'm going to say is credit is super important. That's literally the foundation of everything. If you even look at the United States, we're millions of dollars in debt, yet everyone wants to come here because we have the number one ecosystem. I fucked that up. Okay, we're going to have to fucking cut that one out.
That's good.
We'll just pick back up. Yeah, if you look at the U.S., we're trillions of dollars in debt. Yeah, we got the best economy. And the reason why is because we use debt to create more income. So that's why people need to start changing the way they see credit. A lot of people think of credit as like, oh, last resort. Oh, don't get credit because it's money you don't have. That's false. Use credit to acquire things that are going to make you capital, and as long as you're cash flowing higher than what your monthly debt is, you're winning because now you're producing income. So what I tell people is start as soon as you can, because one big part about credit is age. The sooner you start, the more months you start building, the more years you start building, and that's going to help you in the long run. So don't wait until it's the perfect time. Literally, as soon as you turn 18, get a credit card. If you're already past that age, it's okay. Just start now. Start building that credit. That way, when you're trying to make a move, the bank already knows you. They're willing to lend you money, and now you're able to get the capital you need to start whatever business venture you want to get into.
Exactly. So I know that a lot of you guys that are watching this probably do e-com, probably do, a type of business that might be Amazon FBA, it might be Shopify, whatever it is. What are the top 3 cards that you would recommend a cash-intensive business like Amazon or Shopify, where someone's starting their own brand and they need to order inventory up front? What is the best 3 credit cards that you would recommend for someone to get?
So if we're talking about the top 3 credit cards, honestly, there's just so many options, but the ones I love are the 0% credit cards. And the reason why is because sometimes, if business doesn't go as planned, you might need to hold a balance a little bit longer than planned. With a lot of credit cards, some of them give you 0% interest for 12 months. Now you can rack up this balance. All you need to worry about is the minimum payment, and during that time, you're not accruing interest. So with that being said, some of my favorite ones are going to be, you got the Amex Blue Business Plus, and then you got the Chase Ink Unlimited, and you also got the Chase Business Ink Preferred. So these are 3 of the cards that I like, and the reason I like Chase, honestly, if I had to choose one, I know you said 3, but if I had to choose just one, I would go with Chase. And Chase gives out a bag. They're the biggest bank in the United States, so they're willing to lend more money, and that's why that would be my top bank.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's just say that you had to choose between Chase, Capital One. I don't know, is Navy Federal a bank?
Navy Federal.
Yeah, Navy Federal a bank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, American Express, if I already said that. All the different banks, basically.
Yep.
If you had to pick, what should someone go for? So I'll explain that. Me personally, I probably didn't make the best decisions with which cards to go with first. That's why he's going to probably give me some advice on what cards I should get. But what would you tell someone to go for if it's their first credit card ever?
Got it. So here's the thing. If this is going to be your first credit card ever, A lot of times what I actually recommend people is, first off, see if you have any friends or family that you trust that have a good credit history, and see if you can get added onto their credit cards as an authorized user. The reason is because if you have no credit established, a lot of banks are just honestly going to deny you because they don't know who you are. They don't want to take that risk on you. But if you're able to get a trade line, which is also an authorized user, then you being added onto your friend's account, you being added onto your parents' account, this will then report to your credit 30 days later. And now the banks, even though it's not your credit card, you're going to get all the information from whoever added you on. And it's kind of like a referral, right? If you know somebody and you trust somebody and they introduce you to their friend or they recommend their friend, you're more likely to trust them. So that's kind of how the banks look at it. You know, if you're coming to them with no credit established, but you already have an authorized user account, you're in a better position to get approved. So I would start there. Let's say you don't have the fortune to be able to do that. Maybe nobody around you has good credit and you're the only one trying to start this credit journey. Then honestly, at that point, there are a lot of banks that actually have pre-approval tools. So I would go with still the top banks, which is Amex, Chase. And then when you get to their website, they actually have a pre-approval tool you can use. The great thing about this is you just put in your information, and if you were to be approved, it'll tell you without a hard inquiry. And now if you are able to get approved, you accept it, you get that hard inquiry, but you lock it in. But being honest with you, these are some of the top tier banks. So a lot of times they aren't going to lend to you if you have no credit established. So at that point, we are forced most of the time to go with beginner friendly banks, which a lot of times this is like a Discover, this is like a Capital One. So those banks a lot of time are willing to give you that chance, and sometimes we just have to start there, build that relationship, show that good history for 3 to 6 months, and then we come back and go to the bigger banks. So that's what I would recommend. Try to get an authorized user account just to increase your odds. Then go with the pre-approval tools for the big banks. If you don't get any pre-approvals, all good. Go to the beginner friendly banks, which is Discover, Capital One, and then the most important thing as well. A lot of you guys already have bank accounts. Your bank probably issues credit cards. If you've been banking with a bank for several months, even years, they already know who you are. They see your deposits coming in, they see them coming out. So a lot of times these are also going to be your best shots at getting a credit card. Whatever bank you bank with first, always try them. If they have a pre-approval tool, try that. And again, if all else fails, just go back to the ones I talked about, Discover, Capital One, and you should be good there.
Okay, perfect. So you're obviously how old? 26, right?
I'm 26, yeah.
Okay, he's 26 and he's driving a Ferrari. So what is it that you did differently that the average 22-year-old, 26-year-old, 28-year-old is doing on a day-to-day basis? What did you do differently on a day-to-day basis to drive a Ferrari in your 20s, drive a supercar in your 20s?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Honestly, I think what I see a lot that people are doing is they're just not focusing. And it's easy to say it, but I think what it requires in life is to have a goal and to have focus. If you want to build something, you need to be locked in, you need to be hungry, you need to be motivated to make it better. And I think the difference with me is before I used to be distracted all the time. I used to do a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of just going out. And I would always start my weeks off groggy, not feeling the best. I'd do something Friday night, Saturday night, and I wouldn't be feeling myself until Tuesday or Wednesday. And before you know it, I'm back to Friday night already partying. And I think for me personally, I was just caught in a cycle of always like fun, and not enough, work. So don't get me wrong. There's still going to be times to party. There's going to be times to have fun. But I think if you can set that aside for a little bit, just lock in for a couple months, even a year, focus on building something, then trust me, once it's time to party, once it's time to do all this dope stuff, it's going to be so much rewarding because now you wake up to a fucking Ferrari, you wake up to a fucking Lambo, you wake up to a business that is bringing you money, something that you've built, a foundation. And now, if you wake up hungover, all good. You got money, you got stuff, but I'm not trying to be waking up hungover and broke. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I had to make that switch. And then the second biggest thing, and honestly probably the number one thing, get around people that are doing what you want to do, that are living the life you want to live, and get a mentor. I had to spend $50,000 on a mentor that's making millions of dollars just so I could start learning how to make a couple $100,000. So if you can get a mentor, and don't be scared to pay him. You got to pay because a lot of times it's pay to play. So don't be scared to invest in yourself, find a mentor, spend that money because trust me, you spending that money is going to return so much more money. You're going to learn so much more. And it's just like, why try to figure this out on your own when you already know somebody that has the proven recipe? So that would be my advice.
Exactly. Okay, one last question to end off this video. Just go into a bit about the sacrifice and the difficulties that you have to go through, because everyone, they see people on social media, oh, you can get a supercar in 6 months of hard work, 3 months of hard work, but everyone knows that it's not that easy. So what does it take from you as a man to get to that level where you're able to spend 200 grand on a car, or you're able to be with people spending 300 grand on a car?
Yeah, so honestly, it takes faith in yourself, daily discipline, and just believing in yourself. Honestly, I think the personally for me, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now, I've been having the knowledge to do for the last 5 years. I just never had the guts to take a shot on myself. And I think that's where a lot of people, fail sometimes. I wouldn't call it fail because everybody always has a chance. You could change your life around at any time. But I think a lot of people like have limiting beliefs about what they are capable of, what they can live life like. And I think if you come into this life just motivated, disciplined, seeking mentors, seeking advice from others, and just know that, hey, no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to execute, you're going to make it. I think the biggest thing, honestly, because I'm going off on a tangent, but I think the biggest thing is just execution. If you get with somebody, so find a mentor because you need guidance. Don't try to do it alone. And once you get that mentor, just listen to what they have to say. A lot of us already have this understanding of how to operate. So it's going to be very hard when you hear something new and something totally different. But once you can change that mindset to start doing different things, learning new perspectives, that's when you get that insight. And then once you have that, just execute. Because a lot of us too, we listen to so much information on a daily basis and it's just up here, but we never put it into action. And honestly, the second best thing is just failing. Like you got to execute to make mistakes, but then learn from them and bounce back. I'm not here where I am because I'm perfect and operated everything in a perfect way. I made so many mistakes to land in this exact same moment. The only difference is that I don't give up. As soon as I make a mistake, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I look dumb, but it's okay. We learn, we readjust, and then we make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's how you keep progressing. You just always got to keep moving forward no matter what's happening. And regardless, at the end of the day, you always have a choice. You can either back down or you can keep moving forward. So don't give up. Find a mentor, execute, and most importantly, believe in yourself.
Okay, if people want to find you on social media, figure out how they can work with you, how they can learn from you, where can they find you, and what do you, currently offer? I know you're working on a few things that you want to offer in the near future. What are your plans for that, and what are your socials? So if anyone wants to learn from Alex, he's the real deal. He's driving a Ferrari at 26. Everyone dreams of this. He has a lot of information he can give you guys. Where can they find you, and what do you teach?
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys want to find me, my socials are Alex Credit Expert, expert without an E in the beginning, so XPERT. That's my socials across the board. Pretty much what I teach funding, like I mentioned earlier, right? If you're an entrepreneur that has a passion, sees an opportunity to make a business, but you just don't have the money, then I teach you how to structure your credit and get you to a position where we can then go to the bank, secure $50,000 to $150,000, and then you can make this dream become a reality. That's what I teach right there. I do funding, but then I also teach the credit aspect, how to build the credit. Let's say you don't want to start a business. That's totally fine. That's not for everybody. You just want to know how to have strong credit. That way, when it is time to get that house, when it is time to get that dream car, when you want to do maybe even travel for free, I teach people how to build and structure their credit and then leverage it. I show you how to get free travel, how to get free points, free cash back. I show you how to get the money off a credit card so you can have it cash. Sometimes you can't pay with a credit card for everything. So I show you how to take that money out, no fees, make a couple bucks back, and then be able to use it. So I'm working on a university if you want to learn anything and everything you need to know about credit. I do funding if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur trying to start a business or grow a business. And then if you do have bad credit and you're trying to fix that, I also do credit repair. I can help you right there too. So shoot me a follow if you need anything, just send me a DM. I got you.
All right. You guys heard it from the man himself. You'll see us make tons of more content soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you check it out. This guy knows what he's talking about, and, use it to your advantage. Don't waste the opportunity that's given to you. It's right in front of you. 26 years old, doing things that everyone dreams of. You can be just like him if you put the work in, if you stay disciplined every single day. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.